Hello everyone. It's me, Arden Lee. I am back today with another video. Today's video is about what should you do if all of a sudden you start to feel like you're not passionate about your career anymore. So before I dive into that subject, of course, as always, if you have not done so already, I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel, like my page, and if you're not yet familiar with me and my work, my name is Arden Lee. I am the creator of the Repatterning Project, which is an 8-week course where we hack our beliefs, we examine our patterns, and we optimize our mindset so that we may be on the fast track to our personal growth, happiness, and success. So if that sounds like your jam, go ahead and check out the description box where I have left a link to a free PDF guide about the Repatterning Project so you can download it and check it out, what it is that we do and how we do it. And I also have a link in the description box to the Repatterning Parlor, which is a Facebook group that I moderate full of like-minded individuals who are there to source support and support each other on their paths to personal growth. So go ahead and check those things out. All right, so today in today's video, we are talking about what to do if all of a sudden you find that you're burned out on your career. The person in the Repatterning Parlor who asked this particular question said that they had had a career that they had been really passionate about for a long time, but after about 15 years of doing it, they're not really feeling it anymore. It kind of lost it lost the buzz, you know, it lost that sense of spark, that sense of inspiration. So we go through a lot of career phases in our lives, typically, especially today. We're no longer in that framework where, you know, we would graduate college, we would work for the same company for 25 years, and then, you know, we'd get a watch on our 25-year anniversary with the company or whatever. We would progress in that way. So it's really quite normal for many of us to change careers, you know, on our path, you know, as we journey through our lives. For me in particular, if it were 2019 and I was still teaching pickup, I think, you know, that would be a pretty sad state of affairs. You know, we are clearly in an age where we need more growth, more self-awareness than we need, you know, external tactics to satisfy our fixes for approval, for validation, for people, you know, liking us or being attracted to us or wanting to give in to us. Because of course, as we know, the more we get ourselves into our own authentic alignment, the more we're actually going to attract the people who love us for who we are, not just for, you know, the things that we are doing in order to create attraction with them, right? So it's pretty normal that throughout the course of our lives, we may cycle through several careers. Now, if you're, and you may also, you know, if you're watching this video, you may be someone who is in a job that you've never been inspired by, and you're looking to transition to a job that does inspire you. So the first thing that I would advise is to go to your family, your friends, and all the people who you feel are closest to you, the people that you feel really know your best, and ask them to assess your strengths. Ask them to assess, you know, hey, what are the things that I might be good at? What are the skill sets that I have that maybe I'm not even consciously giving myself credit for? Where do you think there might be opportunities for me to grow and expand in my career, or perhaps start a new career entirely based on the skill sets that I already have? What's pretty interesting for me and for my own personal journey is that I started out my career work, so to speak, as a professional dominatrix in New York City. You know, I was 23 years old. I got hired to be a professional dominatrix at a house of professional dominatrices, and that is how I made my living for about 4 years. Now, you wouldn't think that that career would have a lot of skills that would be applicable outside of it, and yet what has been so useful about it to me is that it taught me from a relatively young age how to be able to hold space for people's darkness, how to be able to show compassion and empathy for the secrets that they're afraid to share with anyone else. And now, given my work as a coach, you know, helping people to examine their patterns and their beliefs, whenever that wants to come up, I have an intuitive understanding in my body of how to hold space for that, how to allow someone to express themselves in those manners, to express their fears, their secrets, the things that they might feel shame or secrecy around, and and be able to hold that in a space of compassion. Because when I was 23, I was a professional dominatrix. So it's kind of bizarre how things might creep up on you like that. As well as that, I also learned a lot during those years about how to market myself. At that time, I was marketing myself to clients. I was marketing myself to clients who were looking for something very specific. Probably not the same thing that they're looking for today. But I learned how to write things on the internet that would attract the attention of people who were looking to hire me. So that's something that I also know how to do in my job now. Is I've become pretty natural at writing about the work that I do from a place that is authentic to me, but that also hopefully captures the attention of the people who are looking for that. So the first thing you can do is assess your skill sets, because the skills that you've taken on in the last 15 years of this career that you're no longer passionate about might actually be helpful to the next step that you're going to jump to, right? And if you're having trouble figuring out what those things are, sit down with your friends and family, the people who really know you best, and ask for their honest assessment. Now, another thing to make note of is, of course, as you know, we do live in a capitalist hellscape, and not everybody is able to immediately leave their current jobs and jump into the next thing that they want to do. So to be more realistic about it, what sometimes is necessary for us to do in transitioning this way is to start our what we now feel more passionately called to as a side hustle to our main career, and we start to build up our side hustle. And this is what is called the 2 trains theory. This is something that I learned from author of the game Neil Strauss when he taught it to his students in the Society Top 100. And what he essentially says about the 2 trains theory is, let's imagine that your current career is a train that you're riding. You're on top of this train, and it's going a certain speed, right? Speed being a metaphor for, I guess, how much income it's generating and how successful it is. And what you want to do is you want to get your second train. So you have your first train going here, right? You want your second train, your side hustle. You want to start investing all the time in it that you possibly can, while still maintaining your health and your well-being and your self-care. Of course, hope that goes without saying. Start investing more and more of your time into your side hustle until it catches up to be the same speed as your first train, which is your old career, right? And at that point, you can hop over to your second train and you can ride that train into your future, right? So that is one of the things that you want to consider when switching careers. Another thing that is really good to think about is that a good career that's really based in something you're passionate about should have 4 qualities. It should be something that fulfills you, something that you are personally passionate about. It should be something that you're good at, right? So that's why we assess our skill sets to see where where in the possible field of all possible careers, where are we most needed. It should also be something that is needed in the world. So other people, it serves others. It serves, people are going to get passionate about it. If just because it's something you're good at and passionate about, if you're just making widgets and there's no demand for it, then no one's going to buy from you. So you want to make sure that it's something that people need. And finally, you're going to want to make sure that it is something that supports you, right? That can give you a return on your investment so that you can sustain yourself, right? So you want to look at those things. So those are all things to consider when you are looking to transition from your old career into a new career. And feel free to take some time, and sometimes if you take that sabbatical as well, there can often be room for fresh inspiration in your old career too. Just because you were doing something in one field, it doesn't always mean that you have to switch fields entirely. Sometimes it might mean that you just want to work in a different aspect of that field. You want to create something that is slightly different than what you've been doing before. Maybe you've just been in a rut, So those are some good things to think about as well. All right, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.